Hey guys, it's Mandals, here to ask... You know what? Skip the question. Pokémon Sun and Moon have been confirmed. How cool is that? Nintendo themselves said it, so there is a ton of speculation going around on the internet right now. And while I'm not here to theorize about whether this is Gen 7 or a crazy Kalos expansion, etc., I would like to talk about some potential things that could be in the games. Specifically, potential features that I would find really cool if added to the final product. These ideas will no doubt vary from person to person. You may hate something I have to say, or you may adore it. So just try to keep an open mind, and when you're done watching, let me know in the comments what features you would like to see in Pokémon Sun and Moon. And quick disclaimer, no, the addition of sound type is not in the video. Frickin' internet, man. And no light type either. No new types. You got fairy type. Deal with it. Well, I've said all I need to, so just sit back and enjoy some of my opinions about Pokémon Sun and Moon. Number 10. Starting off, I think it'd be pretty neat to see a Sun and Moon console release alongside the 3DS one. As of right now, that would mean a title for the Wii U. However, we do know little about the Nintendo NX as of right now, so if that is closer to release than we expect, it'd be even cooler to see the games playable on the NX. Now, there's a number of ways they could do cross-platform compatibility. Now, they could pull a Pokémon Red and Blue Mystery Dungeon. What I mean by that is make one version available on one console and the other version available on the other console. However, this wouldn't be my ideal way to have things. If I were in charge, I would make both Sun and Moon on the 3DS and then also make both versions for the Wii U/NX. Furthermore, I would incorporate the feature of being able to transfer your data between the Wii U and 3DS. Kinda like how you could in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate if you're familiar with that game. This way, the people who prefer portability are happy, and the people who prefer graphics are happy. Number 9. This next one is simple, really. We should have multiple game slots. I'll forgive the old days of Gen 1 for not including this as a feature because of hardware limitations or something, but why in the world is this not something we have nowadays? In Game Freak's defense though, I suppose I can think of a few reasons as to why this hasn't been done. First off, I'm sure it's a business move that hopes to get people compelled to buy the other version if they want more save files rather than having immediate access to them. You could also argue that this makes it easy to duplicate Pokémon, but a solution to this would be to only allow the player to save over the same file it was originally created in. Unfortunately, this feature may never be incorporated since money is a factor, but hey, this is a list of things that I want in Sun and Moon, and I can dream, can't I? I can't tell you how many times throughout my life I've wanted to let a sibling or friend start their own file on a copy of a game I owned. Oh well. Number 8. Pokémon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were the first games to bring us Primal Pokémon, and, well, they were pretty freaking sweet. Yeah, Kyogre and Groudon probably didn't necessarily need Primal form since they were already hella strong, but the fact that this is a feature now opens up an entire new window of possibilities. Let's just hope that for future games, Game Freak doesn't give any more Pokémon the Mega Rayquaza treatment. Some may even argue that making a legendary Pokémon even stronger isn't a good thing. However, there are some that would greatly benefit from receiving a Primal form without entering the realm of overpowered. The various trio legends that Game Freak has brought onto us are ideal candidates for receiving a primal form. Raikou, Entei, Suicune, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Terrakion, Virizion, Cobalion are some that I feel should become primal. Even Dialga and Palkia, while they might be a tad too powerful, would be really cool primals. Number 7. One of my favorite things about Generation 2, and one of the reasons it's my favorite, is that it had cross-region gameplay that allowed you to backtrack to Kanto to explore and find out what happened after Red became the champion. That being said, I'd love to see this mechanic implemented once again, as we haven't seen this done in a very long time. It's always interesting to see the lore of these regions change and adapt as time passes, so why haven't we been updated? I mean, crap, what's happened to Sinnoh since 2009? Who knows? Game Freak won't show us. One speculation that I'm rather fond of is the idea that you'll be able to go back to Kalos in Pokémon Sun and Moon. This would be exciting since Generation 6 didn't exactly have the best story. With cross-region gameplay, we could delve deeper into Team Flare's story, find out more about that war, and learn exactly what the deal is with AZ. It's a great opportunity, so I think Game Freak should most definitely seize it. Number 6. Speaking of fleshing out a game's story, something else I feel needs more substance is the character development found in these games' antagonists. I'm looking at you, Lysandre. As fashionable and flashy as Team Flare was, their motives and characters had me feeling kind of... to say the least. This was certainly X and Y's weakest element. Black and White are examples of a villain done right. The conflict with N and Getsus in Team Plasma leading up to the grand finale was insanely epic, every last second of it. So I'm hoping that Game Freak returns to its former glory in this sense by concocting an evil bastard that I find just as gripping as Black and White's villains. I'm talking Darth Vader, I'm talking Heath Ledger's Joker, I'm talking Gustavo Fring, but, you know, for kids. They could do this to a particular individual or an organization as a whole. Regardless, I just want to see something that causes me to want to invest my time into stopping the evildoers. Number 5. Alright, let's talk nerfs and buffs. It's not exactly up for debate that some of the Pokemon that are used competitively right now are just a little bit, or a lot of bit, too strong. Conversely, there's a load of Pokemon that just aren't strong enough. I'm in no way denying that Pokemon do get slight nerfs and buffs after every generation, but that's the key word, slight. They're just tiny adjustments, nothing too game-changing. And let's face it, Pokemon such as Stantler need game-changing adjustments. This could be done in the form of a stat alteration, or possibly the removal or addition of an ability altogether. I'm even up for the idea of patching Pokemon well after the games have been released. This would no doubt upset people who have been annihilating with their token Pokemon and want to keep it that way, but in most cases, I think people would agree that it's for the best. Like, damn, as much as I loved Aegislash at launch, I felt kinda dirty using it because I knew how much of a powerhouse it was. Number 4. It's not really a secret that a large portion of Pokemon fans are experienced adults, so with that in mind, wouldn't a difficulty increase be nice? I for one have found the recent Pokemon titles to be far too easy, especially X and Y, which catered way too much towards a younger audience. And you know, that's cool and all, I mean it is a kid's game, but the option to make the game a living nightmare would be cool. And I know what you're thinking, Black and White 2 already had a difficulty setting. I mean, kinda. It was no doubt a cool addition, but the higher difficulties usually just meant higher levels. Cerebi.net does insist that this made the AI better as well, but I frankly didn't see it in my initial playthrough. There may have been slight changes to the dopey AI, but I was looking for bots that knew exactly how to destroy me. And again, this would all be optional. I don't expect them to make the game mandatorily soul-crushing, I just want to be able to have the option available to me. Number 3. Up next is another pretty self-explanatory one. More Mega Evolutions would be mega cool. It's pretty hard to explain for more than 5 seconds why I want this, but hell, I'm gonna try. Basically, in X and Y, Pokemon were given Digimon reverse evolving powers, only unlike Digimon, this was really cool. Just kidding, please don't murder me, Digimon fans. Anyways, I for one want to see more Mega Evolutions in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I know I'm not alone in thinking that. But just like my Primal wish list, I want Megas to be given to Pokemon that actually deserve it, not Pokemon that are already monsters. I'm looking at you, Rayquaza. And Gengar, and Salamence, and Garchomp, and Blaziken. Holy crap, yeah, can we cut this out?
It's time to stop!
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were for the most part pretty good at giving Pokemon Megas that deserved it, so let's see more of that in Sun and Moon. Number 2. Here's another feature that kinda exists but has a ton of room to improve upon. Trainer customization. This was another thing that X and Y generously added to the Pokemon series, but as far as actual trainer structure was concerned, you were pretty limited in your options. And yeah, I get you can probably only do so much with the 3DS's hardware, so I'm not blaming anyone here. I'm no expert on console limitations, but I'm hoping that maybe Game Freak is able to squeeze a little bit more into the trainer customization feature when Sun and Moon rolls around. Just a little bit. Now, I'm not talking Sims level customization where you can edit every single pore practically, but I do hope they really push what they're able to do and give us something even more amazing. And if we're lucky, maybe we eventually will be able to do something along these lines. Number 1. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, I would like to see more HMs. I'm joking, of course, those things are annoying as sin. What I'd really like to see in Pokemon Sun and Moon is better endgame content. Yet another thing that X and Y lacked were things to do after beating the Pokemon League. Even Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which could have easily just brought back the Battle Frontier, didn't even do that. The Game Freak? A huge thing that sells for me in games is replayability, so it'd only be natural for this to be the one thing I want more than anything in Pokemon Sun and Moon. And remember how I was talking about cross-region gameplay? That'd be an amazing post-game feature. And Game Freak, seriously, I'm still all for you copying and pasting the Battle Frontier into newer games. I'm pretty sure I speak on behalf of Pokemon fans everywhere when I say we want endgame content that doesn't involve us riding our bike back and forth for hours and hours and hours. Hey, thanks for watching all you sexy people. Remember, by the time I've uploaded this, I'll be preparing for a 24-hour stream that you definitely can't miss out on. Be sure to follow me on Twitch to catch that. Oh, and also follow me on Twitter and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Links are in the description. Also, what are some things that you want to see in Pokemon Sun and Moon? Let me know down in the comments. That's all for now, peeps. Until next time, I'm Mandals. Peace.